Alrighty, so last night I was sleeping and I got woken up in the middle of the night and I checked my notifications and I saw Gerrit Cole sign that huge deal, 9 years, $324 million. And I thought I was dreaming until I actually woke up this morning and I saw all throughout my Twitter feed that Gerrit Cole has signed with the New York Yankees for a crazy deal, a record deal. And then obviously there's some other news. Carlos Correa is being sprinkled out there to see if they can make a trade to trade him. And then Nomar Mazara got traded to the White Sox for a prospect. And I thought that was a really good trade from the White Sox. So we're going to cover all these things today in the video. If you enjoy it, thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And as always in the comment section, let me know future videos you would like to see. And let me know what you think about this news. Do you think Carlos Correa is going to be traded? Do you like this signing for the Yankees with Gerrit Cole? And if you're a White Sox fan, do you like the trade for Nomar Mazara? I know you kind of think Steele Walker is a really good center fielder, but you got Luis Robert there as a top prospect. So I think this pickup was pretty good for the White Sox. So if you missed the last video, it's going to be here in the top corner. All social media links are down in the description below. Give them a follow if you haven't already. And let's start with the one that I guess kind of got swept under the rug with Gerrit Cole signing with the Yankees. Let's talk about Mazara to the White Sox for Steele Walker. And let's first talk about Steele Walker, because for me, this was just a prospect that the Rangers are trying to get to kind of boost that farm system. So Steele Walker spent 2 years in the minors, and his averages there are a 265 batting average and an OPS of 761. He's hit 15 home runs, 83 RBIs, 19 stolen bases. Okay, that's pretty good. And then 60 walks in 164 games. So, you know, you're looking at it, he spent the 2 years in single A and like advanced A or A plus, whatever they want to call it, and he's 23 years old. So when you're looking at his stats, his OPS in single A is the same as Nomar Mazara has in the majors. Steele Walker's only a year younger than Nomar Mazara, and he still has quite a distance to cover in the minors before he hits the bigs. So for me, this trade was actually really good. The White Sox are getting a player 1 year older with a lot more MLB experience. They're also getting an outfielder, a corner outfielder that they really needed in the lineup, and also a lefty bat, which was huge. And Nomar Mazara offers some pop off the bat, so they really needed that lefty power bat, and I think they got this with Nomar Mazara. So when you look at his stats, you know, 2018, he hit 258 with a 753 OPS. So a little low. You definitely want to see that a little bit higher. But then this year, he brought, his average up, on base percentage, slugging, and OPS. Yes, he played in a little bit fewer games. The at-bats and stuff were a little bit down. But you can see he's slowly increasing his numbers. He's improving. And again, he's only 24. He's going to get better. And when you think about the Rangers lineup, there's not a lot of lineup protection in that order. Yes, there's Joey Gallo, but he has injury issues. Elvis Andrus, Rougned Odor was absolutely garbage last year. And outside of that, there's not too many hitters that can protect Mazara in the lineup. When you look at this White Sox lineup, you now have Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada, Eloy Jimenez, Yasmani Grandal, Jose Abreu. That's a lot of protection. Nomar Mazara is going to start to see some really good pitches because he's going to get some good at bats now. There's a lot of protection in the lineup, and I think this was a great acquisition for the Chicago White Sox. Lefty bat, like I've mentioned. His stats are slowly increasing. He's only 24. He's got a very friendly contract at $5.7 million. I think this was a fantastic pickup for the White Sox. And, for me, as a Cubs fan, you're looking at the White Sox lineup now. If they get some pitching, they might be the best team in Chicago, hands down. This team is looking really good. It's a young team with a good core. Man, this is a scary team to look forward to, and I only think they're going to get better. Obviously, they're throwing money to try to get top pitchers as well. They've missed out on Zach Wheeler. I guess there's some other pitchers that they've thrown money at that they've missed out on too. So I feel like they've got the offensive pieces that have that could draw interest from other players to start to join their team now. So the White Sox, they're looking good. For the Rangers now, you got a prospect that you can hopefully develop. And now you're missing a corner outfielder, a name in free agency that could be of interest, Nicholas Castellanos. Who knows? They're looking to throw money out there. They're looking to say they've been maybe signing Rendon. They've already brought in some good pitching. Maybe Castellanos could help with that offensive lineup. Then your corner outfielders of Gallo and Castellanos. You've got Andrus. You've got Odor, who hopefully can come back and have a good season. Guzman at first. If you fill Rendon at third there and Castellanos in right, that team's actually looking pretty solid. So Castellanos, potentially to the Rangers, could be a decent little pickup. So now let's talk about Carlos Correa, because for me, Trading him doesn't make a lot of sense, but I understand the Astros are in some salary cap issues, or some luxury tax issues, I guess I should say. So let's look at Correa's stats, because at 25 and a contract at $7.4 million, it's still pretty decent, but the big thing with Correa is his health. So when you look at Carlos Correa, in the last 2 years, he's played at just over 180 games. Last, 2018, he hit 239 with an OPS of 728. So the numbers definitely dropped. He struggled with injuries a lot, and you can see that it really affected him on the field. So last year, 2019, in 75 games, again, massive injury concerns, he hit 279, on base percentage of 358, and an OPS at 926. So the average in the OPS went up in less games, which makes sense, a couple less at bats to worry about and things like that. But, the home runs are pretty close to what he did in 110 games. Run production's pretty close to the same as well. So you're looking at that and you're like, what's going on here? Why can't he stay healthy? Are there some injury concerns? Are there some things that we're missing out on? What can Carlos Correa do to stay healthy on the field? Because when healthy, he is a top shortstop. Offensively, he shows he can hit 20 plus home runs, give you that run production, and defensively and in the fielding, whatever you want to say, he is a gold glover, one of the best arms in baseball. Great range, good with the glove. He is a top fielder. So Carlos Correa, when healthy, top shortstop. Amazing. The thing is, can he stay healthy? And a team that I saw that may be interested, and it makes a lot of sense, are the Reds, because they really need a shortstop right now. They've got that second baseman in Moustakas. They have Suarez at third, Votto at first. The corner outfielders of Winker, Aquino, and Irvin could potentially start to be developing. Center field, you got Senzel. So they've got a decent squad. You figure out that shortstop position, you can somehow find a trade with Carlos Correa. Whew. You've got yourself a team. The player that was thrown around as possible trade bait for Correa, Luis Castillo. So for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Why would they trade their top pitcher for Carlos Correa? Luis Castillo is an ace, in the making, if not already an ace. He's a top pitcher. So for me, it doesn't make sense, but maybe a top prospect. Hunter Green, I understand he's coming off of Tommy John, but he's shown that he can pitch and he's slowly developing. You've got Lodolo, who is just your most recent draft pick, which I know you probably don't want to trade that just yet. But what about Jonathan India? You have Eugenio Suarez at third. You just signed Moustakas at second. Maybe part with Jonathan India to bring in Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa, I think, has another year or two of team control with arbitration, and then you can sign him to a deal. I like maybe possibly trading Jonathan India and maybe another prospect or two for Carlos Correa. I think that would make sense. It would bring some money off of the Astros books, and then also bring in your star shortstop if you're the Reds. Would they be willing to do that? I'm not too sure, but I feel like the Reds would make the most sense to try to go out and get Carlos Correa. So now to finish off this video, let's talk about the big deal that happened, Gerrit Cole to the Yankees. Alrighty, so Gerrit Cole to the Yankees, we've been talking about it in a couple videos, and I've mentioned it basically makes sense that the Yankees are getting Gerrit Cole. They have the money to do it. They're willing to go over the luxury tax. They're willing to spend it. 9 years, $324 million. That is ridiculous. And it makes sense. Gerrit Cole's coming off of an amazing season. A 2.5 ERA, 212 innings pitched. His whip sat at 0.89, which is just crazy to think about. He has just stupid numbers, and it just is insane. And he's attacking the zone. He's become a new pitcher at Houston, and it shows you last 2 seasons. You can see what he's done in Houston, and it's been amazing to see him just develop from the Pirates to the Astros. So now the Yankees are picking up what they're now ace when they have Severino coming back from injury. You've got Paxton, you've got Tanaka, you've got Jordan Montgomery, and you're probably thinking, well, what about J Happ or J.A. Happ, whatever you want to call him? Well, it looks like to shed some of that salary that they just now threw at Gerrit Cole, they're looking to trade Happ, and it kind of makes sense. Happ's kind of on a gross contract right now, so to get rid of him, it would open up some money to potentially bring in a reliever to fill that hole that Dellin Betances has left, unless they bring back Dellin Betances. And you look at their team, the Yankees are scary. They've only gotten better, and it's crazy to think about once Sevy comes back healthy, you're looking at a very scary rotation. They already had a very scary bullpen, probably the best pitching staff in baseball. So, whew. I mean, it's crazy. And I don't really want to keep going on about Gerrit Cole, but because we've already talked about him so much already in the past couple MLB videos, the news videos, but we know what Gerrit Cole is capable of. He's going to the Yankees, which I think now adds some pressure to even do better. You know, obviously everyone knows the Astros were a top team, but I feel like there's that added, like, the Yankees are a top team. They have that history. They have that pedigree. Now he's really got to show that he's worth all that money that was just shelled out for him. And I think that he can do it. He's shown that he's a top pitcher. He's shown that he can deal in those top pressure situations. Gerrit Cole is looking really good. And on top of that, he had a 13.8 K per 9, which I'm pretty sure is an all-time record. Whew. The guy's nuts. Like, he looks really good. I understand why the Yankees paid that much, especially since Strasburg just had a record deal up until Cole was like, here, take a second, let me get some more money than that. So it makes sense now. So I think that's gonna end today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, thumbs up down below. Let me know what you think about all these rumors that are starting to fly around. This offseason is nuts already. I'm loving it. Oof, it's looking really good. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, again, thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And in the comment section, let me know what you think about all these rumors that we talked about, or these deals that we talked about today. So guys, right here, 2 videos, one most recent and also one that is recommended to you by YouTube. And that's it, guys. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.